This was kind of interesting as well. Andrew Berry's most athletic draft class and undrafted free agent class. And again, this is something that you tweeted out. Again, follow Jack on Twitter. It's at Jack Duffin. Some really good stuff comes out of this. So the scores that we're looking at are the relative athletic scores. They refer to them as RAS scores. You see the draft class kind of 7.66 in the draft class, 6.60 undrafted free agents. And here's kind of the draft that we're looking at. Emerson kind of off the boards, Wright didn't test. David Bell a little bit below. That's how he ended up in the third round. And then you get to their seventh round picks, and they're both high nines. This is on a scale of 0 to 10. When you look at that, what jumps off the page at you, and what do you think about David Bell's kind of RAS number there being so low?
Yeah, so it's a really, really good stat that just 0 to 10 by position, how athletic, going all the way back to combine data from 1987, a great piece of work from a guy called @MathBomb, Kent Lee Platt on Twitter. So it allows us to just look at a guy and go, hey, this guy's really athletic for a center or for a fullback or a defensive tackle, because, hey, a wide receiver is going to run quicker than a defensive tackle. You don't need data to work that one out. But it's really, really good to see lots of athletic guys late in the end of the draft, because you want to make a bang or you're not going to make the roster. So it gives us an option, especially when you're looking at edges. It was different in the past where we're looking at some other positions, and we had some lower ones in the past, like LeCount, who was injured. Felton didn't test well, but some of the GPS data was better, where they track a player's movement with pads on during real games in college. But no, lots of upsides. Some of the UDFAs are really, really exciting, and we'll touch on some of them later, but they're really athletic. You need those guys to come in and battle for a spot on the 53, because they only have a couple of months, and then they're getting cut if they don't flash.
Is it concerning that a wide receiver has a low RAS score, or how do you kind of juggle that if you're evaluating those things?
Yeah, so it's one that he wasn't higher on boards because of that, and Andrew Berry mentioned it in his sort of post draft press conference, and sort of said, hey, we knew he wasn't going to be quite as quick because they've got all this data. That they got a really good idea because of the GPS tracking data of what guys will actually run before they go and do it. And not many teams use the data as much as the Browns do. They're on the leading side of data, and that's really beneficial for them, getting a head start on all the players that are available. So they know he's slightly slower, but you've got to compensate that with speed elsewhere, and they've done a really good job with that. And if he's operating more in the slot, and you look at some of these guys, Devontae Adams, not particularly great athletic data. Cooper Kupp, not great athletic data. Doesn't stop them being really, really productive, but you just need to be aware of that, and then are they doing other stuff to compensate for it? And Bell certainly is.